What's going on? This is Magic Mitch, the food adventurer, bringing you another food challenge video. And in this one, I'm taking on yet another big burrito eating challenge, this time in England, and this one, once again, has a short 10-minute time limit. And in addition to that, I'm also going to be using this particular food challenge to talk about something you may have asked yourself when it comes to these restaurant food challenges. But before we get into that, let me set the stage for the battle at hand, as this is taking place at a restaurant known as Zapatista Burrito Bar in Newcastle, England, where I'm taking on their Belly Buster Burrito Challenge. Now for this one, you have to eat a big ol' burrito, which is actually equal to 3 of the regular sized burritos, and you also get to choose your choice of meat, which includes chicken, beef, and pork. Then this thing comes packed with rice, beans, a variety of vegetables, cheese, sour cream, and salsa. And just like the previous burrito challenge I had done earlier on this trip, there's only a 10-minute time limit. But if I was able to knock it down in the 10 minutes, I would get a free shirt and my picture up on the wall of fame, as well as a gift card to be used later. Now I do have to note that you typically don't get the meal for free, and it is 15 British pounds, but in this case it was a bit of a promo, so if I was able to complete the challenge in this case, I would be also getting my burrito for free. So much like the previous burrito challenge I had done on this trip, I wanted to get some intel beforehand. This is why I asked Randy Santel and Kate Ovens to see what they thought I should go with for the meats on this challenge, because they had actually just finished their battles against this burrito. And because there's only 10 minutes to this food challenge, there's not a lot of time, so I just have to focus on shoving it down without too much chewing and try to restrain myself from using too many napkins and the use of my drinks, which would eat up more precious time during this one. And now, let's talk about that question I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And this is something I get asked quite a bit about, and that is, do restaurants ever try to cheat you? That is, do they ever make the challenge bigger than advertised to try to make you lose? And while generally speaking, most of the time, no. But it is enough to where it's a thing. And whether it's on purpose or not, that's a case-by-case basis. In my case, I know 2 instances where it's most likely to happen. The first one is if the restaurant knows you're an experienced eater, especially if you're coming in to film. Actually, this had just happened to Randy on this trip already. He was doing a food challenge where the cooks added some spicy peppers to it, which, to be honest, I'm so glad I was not a part of. And the second instance is if I do my food challenge following Randy. This is actually something that's happened enough times, so where we joke about it, how it'll give me, quote, more training for food challenges, which I take it as the risk for going second in order to get the intel from him going first. Which really didn't matter in this case, just because we all got the enhanced version of the burrito. With all that aside, my ethos when it comes to food challenges is I just want the challenge as it's meant to be given, and I don't care how big or small it's supposed to be. And let me just point out, I've taken down some colossal sized food challenges, and I've also shamelessly done some very easy ones nearly anyone could do. And I'm not looking to set out to become some sort of ego eater, trying to do the biggest and baddest eating stunts. I just want to go on my food adventures, battle some food monstrosities, have a good time, and look good doing it with some fashionable attire, and maybe just bust out a few push-ups along the way. So with all that being said, the size of this challenge definitely was not ideal, but I did think I could still manage to take this thing down. But perhaps I should have paid more attention to the bad omens or signals that came earlier in the day, like getting pooped on by a bird. Yes, so FYI, I got pooped on by a random bird, and I could not believe this. And I better not hear from anyone in the comments saying how getting pooped on by a bird is good luck, because I will tell you right now, there is no such thing as good luck from being the target of a bird turd. Alright, so enough about the crap attack, back to the battle at hand. So when it comes to my thoughts on this challenge, I'm giving the setup a thumbs down, even though this is not meant to be a criticism of sorts for the restaurant. Obviously, the inconsistency in the size of the food challenge is one thing, but also, for as difficult as this food challenge is, in my opinion, based on similar challenges I've done, my own personal experiences, I just simply think the burrito should be free. But one thing I didn't have an issue with was how great this burrito tasted, which is why I'm giving it a thumbs up. I had no issue with the amount of flavor that was packed into this bad boy, but honestly, it's really hard to make a burrito taste bad, especially for a former fat kid like myself who pretty much eat anything. And right here, I would just like to point out that I started getting a slight bloody nose at this point, which really wasn't helping my cause, and should have been a sign of more bad things to come. You know, I could say something like, at this point I was starting to smell blood, but it was not in the sense of, oh, I'm ready to give this challenge the killing blow with the last final bite. It was more like, no, you definitely have a bloody nose coming on. And you can't hear it, but I'm definitely doing quite a bit of sniffing through my nose to try to prevent it from running down my face. I gotta tell you, that is definitely not a distraction I needed at the time.
Alright.